What's up, YouTube? MainManSWE here. Hoping you're all doing awesome as always. I want to talk a little bit about the Steve Fox situation because he's received some monumental nerfs that are pretty much unbelievable. As I titled my video where I read the patch notes, it is unbelievable what has happened to Steve. I've always referred to him as one of the golden boys, meaning that he's always top tier, if not arguably the best character in any Tekken game. If you look back, he was introduced in Tekken 4. A lot of people believe Jin was the best character, but did you know how you counter Jin? Steve. Jin had a 10-frame jab, Steve had an 8-frame jab in a game where you couldn't move. But, you know, and his flicker frames were absolutely absurd, the frames on these moves. Steve was a god in Tekken 4, arguably the best character. Tekken 5, he's the best character by a mile. A mile. So, okay, number one. Tekken 6, Tekken 5 DR, he's nerfed a shit ton. He's still top 3, or top 4, top 5. Tekken 6, top 3, I think. I mean, you could argue that. And then Tag 2, he's what? Top 5. Tekken 7, every season he's super strong. And of course, anytime this character is nerfed, you have a lot of top players who are very upset. It's a bit like with Jin. I think it's a little bit of living in a bubble where your character is always meant to be incredibly strong, and anytime he's nerfed, it's like, come on, your character is always top 5. Every single game, every season, top 5, top 5, top 3. Or arguably the best character in season 3, and oh, he's nerfed. No! You know, can you just imagine being JDCR, devoting so much time to like Armor King and Heihachi, characters who've always been deeply flawed. Deeply flawed. Can you imagine being him, struggling in tournaments? I mean, at the highest level of play, playing Heihachi, I don't understand how he does it. You have no lows. It's not like you have a cool throw game to compensate. It's like, and electrics, crouch cancel electrics. It's like, okay, how do you do that? How do you even do that? And then imagine being him, seeing Jin players and Steve players receiving tiny slaps on the wrist, and they're on the ground in a fetus position. It's like, welcome to my life. Or Eddie players. You know, it's like, come on. I just had to stress that a little bit, how ridiculous it is to always hear Steve players and Jin players. Oh, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. No, he's top 10. What's your problem? But so, okay, yeah, Steve, down for 2, has received a huge nerf. Huge nerf. Used to be homing, and now you can sidestep it to both sides. It actually has like no tracking almost. It's gone from homing to pretty much no tracking whatsoever. So this is a huge nerf. But the thing with Steve that a lot of people don't talk about is that his generic moveset has a lot of tracking. Now you hear a lot of pro players say, oh, he has no mid-homing move anymore. Or you only have Peekaboo 2, you know, which is a high. Oh, God, why am I pressing forward? This move. That's our only homing move now. I should remove counter hit. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you have 1-to-1, which is arguably, you know, one of the absolute best strings in the game, I would say, both defensively and offensively. It just has so many options. I covered this in my 8-minute guide. You can do a 4th hit, mid, low. You can do 1-to-1 on its own. You can do 1-to-1 into flicker pressure. You can do 1-to-1 into peekaboo. There's just so many options. Or you can do 1-to-1 into duck cancel in. or you can do a, you know, duck back, whatever you want to do. There's just an endless amount of options from this string. And this tracks to both sides. It just tracks to both sides, this string. And then you have duck in forward 2, which is a counter hit launcher. And this move also famously tracks to both sides. Famously tracks to both sides. And then you have a rocket launcher that tracks to his, if they try to step him towards the right. This will not track if they step towards the left. But he has quite a few moves that do track towards that side. And in my opinion, you can just do while standing 1-1. So you duck, and then just do while standing 1-1. This tracks a shitload to both sides. Or you can just do while standing 1. I like this. I like it a lot. And I can combine that with 1-1 if I want to. Oh, and back 1, of course, tracks towards the right, but it does not track towards the left. However, if you delay it a little bit, it does. So I'm just trying to stress, like, yeah, down for 2, not having any tracking. I love this, by the way. Look at my duck escape. You want to punish me? I don't think so. So yeah, again. Oh, you want to sidestep me, Gov? While standing 1 is a good option. You want to step me, Gov? So again, he definitely has options. He's still incredibly strong. So what was it some people said yesterday, you know, hyperbole, like, oh my god, he's not even top 20 anymore. And it's like, he's still super good. And another pretty big nerf is back 1, you know, is 13 frame high counter hit launcher. That's -1 on block. If it whiffs completely now, it takes 3 frames longer to recover. And it's like, oh yes, finally we can whiff punish this move. Yeah, but the problem is that when you do the math, oh, it recovers 3 frames slower. 3 frames slower. Do you know what that means? 3 frames. This game runs at 60 FPS. That's 1/20th of a second slower recovery. It just doesn't mean a lot in the end. So I'm gonna demonstrate now. You saw how quickly that recovered. I did back 1 and then immediately blocked. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm failing the cancel. There we go. That was a perfect cancel. You see? It's like, Jesus, oh, Steve is dead, Steve is dead. Yeah, back 1 is just still like top 5 moves in the game. But Steve is dead, right? Because they can sidewalk down for 2. Yeah, but what do we do then if you just fall back and do back 1? Are we gonna, what are we gonna do then? Steve is dead, Steve is dead. Oh, I love it. And then down 1 is -2 on hit instead of neutral. Not a big problem. This is still a great low. Still a great low. Albatross 2. Got a combo nerf. Oh. You see, it doesn't throw them very far. This was a nerf to his best combo. And it hurts a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then 4, 2, 1, 2 is now minus 10. This I saw especially Hira Malik use to try and get people to duck. This actually guarantees a rage drive pickup when he's in rage. Oh, that's quite easy to do. And same for down for 1, 2, 2. So definitely a nerf, I feel. But it's not a huge deal. That's more of a detail. But what I am curious about is his rage drive. And I'm not sure about this, if this is a stealth nerf. They mentioned in the patch notes that they lowered the damage of the initial hit. The first hit now does 5. I think it used to do 10, right? But I used to see this move as almost homing, or pretty much homing, but now from close range, it's super steppable. Fart machine, nice to see you, buddy. From far away, it still tracks really well towards Steve's sidewalk left, but sidewalk right, not very well at all. Oh, that was very early. Yeah, I don't know. Has this been nerfed? To me, it feels like it, but I don't know. I'm not certain. So yes, that's what I wanted to talk about with Steve. Down for 2 is a nerf. Yeah, he doesn't have a proper mid-homing move. But again, this is a character that has a lot of built-in tracking in a lot of his normal moves. And as soon as a Steve pressures you like crazy, where are you gonna go? This character can be so oppressive. Where are you going to go? And again, or if he falls back and relies on, you know, top 5 moves in the game, back 1, cancels it immediately, you know, well, again, like, are you gonna... I just can't take it seriously when people say, oh, he's dead, he's shit now. And we saw the exact same thing, you know, Season 3, they nerfed down for 2 back then as well. They made it so that you used to get an easy combo from here. And now you have to do Shiro. Right? That's very difficult to do. And people said, Steve is dead! Steve is dead! I believe Nee said, you know. Steve is dead now. And then turns out, you could argue in Season 3 he was top 1. I mean, Arslan and I know Arya both felt he was top 1. I felt Geese was better, but Steve was easily top 3. Easily. So, right, they said he was dead, definitely wasn't, and now this is an even bigger nerf. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's still top 10. At all. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to say regarding this whole situation. I think it's just typical top player hyperbole, living in a bubble. And my God, why even whine? Steve has always been like the best character, pretty much every single game. And oh, he's been nerfed. Oh, well, boo-hoo. Boo fucking who. Like, again, like, why don't you play some fucking Kuma or some Lily or Eddie, Katarina? Why do some characters always have to be on top? Isn't this interesting that Steve isn't a 2-move character? Back 1 and down for 2. Oh, is it a problem that you now have to take a more sophisticated approach with the character? rather than just relying on back one and down for 2 all day long. This makes the character more sophisticated. And if I had my way, Kazuya's electric would not track to both sides. I don't like the fact that it tracks to his weak side, sidewalk left. It makes the character less sophisticated. If I had my way, they would revert that. Right. Makes the character more interesting. But again, it's like, are you being reasonable? So still, Steve is still great, and for you beginner and intermediate players and even high level players, you're still going to get completely fucked by Steve players.